Hello guys, welcome once again. In the last video, I have shown you that how can you run Genymotion and configure Genymotion with your Android Studio. And in the last video, we have solved the slow emulation problem and we have attached a fast emulator with our Android Studio. In this video, we are going to explore our app that we have created in the first video tutorial, or second technically. In that video we have created the app, but now I'll be exploring some components of the app and I will be telling you about all of them. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, you can see this is our Android device, you can say, and in here you can see that this is my app written here, and this is some text written here. This page that we can see on our Android device is called as activity, and activity is something that can interact with user. Okay, so anything that interact with user is called as activity, and this page, one page of Android that is visible on the screen of Android is called as activity. And an app can have more than one activity. Okay, so now just go here to the project from left, click on that, and when you will click here you will have these kind of things. So all of them we are going to explore, but first of all we're gonna see the project. So in project you'll be having my app, and when you will explore that, these are the different files for the tasks, for .xml file and other libraries containing source files for your application. Okay, so my app, this is the basic name of my app. That is my app, you can see that that is the name of my application, and it contains some mandatory files that are necessary for running a program or for running your app. And the next is external libraries in the project category. So external libraries, sometimes in order to run an app or in order to do something you need an external app or external library. And if you're following my C# videos, then you must be familiar with the external third party DLL or third party libraries. So you can also add external libraries into your Android Studio for your Android app. Okay, so now coming to the next, and that is packages. So in here you can see all the packages that are mandatory for your Android app. They are here, like application test, build configuration, example unit test, main activity. These all are the packages, but they are not the codes. Okay, the code is something else and it is written somewhere else in the main activity, right? So this is not the code. If you have worked with Java, then you must be familiar with the concept of classes, packages and all that. Okay, so now coming to that, now if you click on layout, this is your activity main.xml file. That is your one activity that you have. Okay, so remember that in packages you will have a layout, and layout is basically a design of your Android app. So what does an Android app has a combination of? It is combined of an activity which include design, and then it has some code in which it might be having an action listener concept or event concept where a code is written. So the design is controlled by the code, and the code is written uh, the code is written by keeping an eye on the design. Okay, so you will follow the design, then you will write the code, okay, accordingly. Okay, so I hope you have got the concept here. So this is the layout, that is the design and activity main.xml file, and this design, this activity will be in .xml. So in here you can see that this is design, and when you will click on text, you will have this code. This is basically the XML code for your design. Okay, so all that output that you can see in front of you has been made up of this code. All right, so in here you can see that this is the text, and you can change that if you want to change that. Okay, so let's say code beginners, and you can see that the text has been changed, right? So this was the main activity. So this was the basically .xml file. Remember that this is the design portion, and whatever change you made in the design, it will also affect this code. Okay, so it is relatively generating all the code with the design. Okay, so you don't have to write the code, you just drag and drop things, and all the code of XML is generated automatically here. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to show you, let's take a demo of that how the code will be generated when you do something. So let's drag one thing here, and that is medium text. Okay, just drag it here, it will align it, just resize it. Okay, and just let's say double click it, this is medium text, and let's change it to code beginners. Okay, now hit enter. You can see that you have this text right here. Okay, this is the medium text, and now if you will go to the XML, you can see that your code for your code for the medium one, this one is generated automatically. Okay, so I hope you have got the concept here for the generation of the code. Okay, so now for XML you can also add libraries. So those libraries in the package were for Java, and these libraries refer to the images, or it could be design libraries for your .xml. Okay, .xml extension, or for your XML file. All right, so the next thing is scratches. It is empty, I think. Yes, it is empty, it has nothing here. So the next is project files, and in here your project files resides somewhere. This is the source code, and in source you have Android test Java, main test Java, these kind of files. So if you come to this Android, otherwise this is the important, when you open it, there you have the main code. Okay, the main things that we will discuss. Okay, so first of all we're gonna be discussing manifest. So if you click on manifest here, this is the manifest.xml. okay, so if you go here, if you see inside of that, you'll be able to see different main things of your activity. The first is the label of your activity. If you are familiar with the label on your main activity, and that is my app, and in Android manifest you can see that the Android label is my app, and this code is also auto generated. All right, so the next thing is support, that is true, And the next thing is theme. Okay, so this is the add style slash app theme because I have selected the app theme. And add style refers to the parameter, and it will be selected automatically when you will select manually from there. Okay, so when you will select manually from there, the code will be automatically generated. And the next is the activity, and we know that we have only one activity, the main activity. That's why we have this. So if you will have more than one activity, then definitely you are going to have a bigger code than that, and you will have more than one activity tag, you can say. Okay, so this is the activity tag. All right, so this was your Android manifest in the app. So let's close this. Let's come to res first. So here you have the same layout, and that is activity main.xml, the xml file that is responsible for the design. Okay, the next is MIP map that contains some PNG images that are important and that are mandatory. And the next is values, colors, dimensions, strings, styles. This is important too, but this is very basic. And the next is the Gradle scripts that include the running of the app. So in Android Studio, if you see that you have so many files for running the app, because running of an app is a pretty important stage, and that's why it takes so long to run an app. Okay, so that was the reason that we have done a little bit integration of this Genymotion emulator. Okay, so because it is a little bit faster than the usual Android Studio emulator. Okay, so now we are done with res2. So now this one thing remains, and that is Java. So when you will open that, you will have three files, and if you open one of them, you will have this main activity. When you will click on that, you will have this kind of class, and everything that is related to your app, the main functions, the main code will be written in here, this main activity.java file. All the code that you will write will be in Java, and you will be writing here, and your app will perform accordingly to the code that you will write here. Okay, so till now I have written here nothing. So this is the auto generated part, and as you can see that public class main activity, this is the main class, and it extends from app compact activity. So extend means it is inheriting. Okay, so the main activity is inheriting some of the features or some of the things from app comps activity. Okay, so this is also the class. And if you can see that we have some already written pre-written function. Okay, that must be important, and that is protected void on create bundle save instance state, super.on create saved instance state. So this is related to the stability of your app. When you will run your app, this code or this function helps it to maintain its state. So we will discuss that in detail in the future videos. One more thing that you can see from here is if you click on your activity, this is your activity, for example, you will come to know about these properties. So like this, we have properties here, and from here we can change anything that we want. So if I click on the clickable, your activity becomes clickable. Here you can see that the color change. Okay, so if I change the background color, I can write here the code if I want, and I can also change the background color from here. It will take me to the resources and I can select any color from here. So the basic purpose to tell you about colors, to tell you about other things, is that you can the properties from here. Okay, so this is the color code that your current color is selected. So these kind of things are going to happen when you will work with that. And one more thing, that this column represents the properties, and from here you can change the basic properties of your activity. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed today's video, and please don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.